While we wait impatiently for the building permit to arrive from the authorities so that we can actually start building our home, we thought it would be a nice idea to just relate all the little tasks that we've been doing in the past couple of months. So that's what this video is going to be about. Some days are disappointing. We came here and we forgot the tape, we forgot the jadu, which we wanted to clear up some of the leaves, and now Marvin can't get the chainsaw to work. Oh well. We're here in the morning today to do a leveling of the ground. Basically to see how much elevation is there within the house. The ground below us isn't even, it's lower there, and where I'm standing is higher. So using this tube technique we can find out how much higher it is, and if we need to put steps within the house, then this will help us decide. It was a big day when the JCB came to clear the land. We're here at the plot today. Even though we cleared it already, there are still these stumps that need to be cleared, uprooted, and for that we need the machine, which is here today. The machine is also clearing an approach path for us, so a lot of destruction. In order to minimize the brute force with which we deforested our land, we did come a few times to manually clear some of the branches, to decide which trees we should keep and which ones had to go. Somehow it felt like a kinder way to do this, but at the end of the day we still did have to rely quite a bit on the JCB to really do a clean job. Wow, effortless. Oh my god, like we're doing jadu pocha in the house. It's clear. Okay, so how are you feeling with how it's going?
Going okay. Actually, the top of the land was much more higher than the bottom of the land, so that was causing some issues. We were thinking of putting steps within the house, but then there were issues of older people not being able to accessibility issues. So we are slightly reducing the top level, and whatever mud is there from the top level, we are putting it to the bottom level. So there will be only a slight difference now. So we are not removing too much earth, a little bit. So that should help with the design.
All said and done, having the JCB do this clearing did help us visualize the land a little more, and while we were sad to see many of the trees go, it's something that we had to make peace with. There was one fun day in between when we invited some of our friends and family members to help us draw an outline of the house on this newly cleared patch. We used string and some twigs that were lying around to try and mark the borders of our H-shaped house, which had been designed on paper by Sneha, our architect. We have to thank everyone who helped us do this. It was a lot harder than we promised them it would be. Meanwhile, we were also looking for sources of mud where we could use to build our bricks, to build the mud bricks that we would be using to construct the home. Mervyn managed to identify 3 separate sources of earth, and we had to pick the best one out of that. For this, we relied on soil testing. How the soil test works is basically we just run the mud sample through the sieve, and the sand particles, being bigger, are filtered out, whereas the clay particles, which are much finer, have no trouble passing through the sieve. Using this, we're able to figure out the ratio, the mud-sand ratio of these samples, and we need to make sure that they are going to be good enough to build bricks with. We need an adequate proportion of sand for our bricks to be strong, because sand works as an aggregator, and the soil in our part of Karnataka tends to be super clayey. So we were able to identify that the 3rd sample of mud that Mervyn sourced turned out to be the best. Basu sir from Intact's Mangalore chapter guided us on how to do the soil testing. We also looked for surki. Surki is broken bricks that can be added to a mud mixture to enhance its performance, and we managed to source some from a brick factory here in Mangalore. As it turned out, the broken tiles and broken bricks that they gave us were too good quality, you could say, to be used efficiently as surki. But we're hoping that we can still use it in some form or the other. Back home, we got started on creating some of the sample bricks, and we used different proportions of mud and sand, and because we didn't have surki with us, we used fly ash, basically ash, which has some special properties that also allow the lime that we were using to set quickly. It started with doing a dry mixture, adding enough water, pugging it with our hands, leaving it to rest for a day or so, and finally using the wooden mold to make the bricks. Over a week or so, we had a good set of sample bricks that we had made, and the idea is now to send them for testing at a local laboratory here, and to do some compression tests and figure out if they are indeed good enough to use. After we made the bricks, I sat down and made them flat on top. Not a very important step, but it's the only proof
are you
that
doing, Nandita?
I did any work during this whole process, so we're still sticking it in. Take a look at our bricks, all ready to go to the laboratory. More updates soon later. Thanks for watching.